Hey guys, I'm coming to you today from Cherokee Park on the west side of St. Paul, and this video is not an easy one for me to make. It's a story about my very first best friend that grew up with me in this neighborhood. And she doesn't live here anymore. I've since moved away too. But she moved actually out of state a while back. She lives in Aurora, Colorado now. And I've seen her a couple times since then. We've had fun when she came back. We've had a lot of state fair memories and, you know, hanging out at her sister's places. Her sisters still live here in Minnesota. But my friend Misty has been sick for a while. And a couple of days ago, I found out that she's in hospice. And not being able to hop in the car and go see her, bring her a hot meal, or give her a hug, I kind of pondered what I wanted to do for her. I didn't want to send her flowers. I imagine she's overwhelmed with phone calls and texts, and I didn't know if she's even up to that. I know she's just kind of spending some time with her close family members right now, and her partner Chrissy, and I just wanted to respect her time and her wishes. And I thought, what a good way to give a gift to Misty that she can look back and enjoy, and maybe watch when she feels up to it. Make her a video, take her back to the streets that she grew up on, kind of recount the memories that I have of her in my heart and in my mind, so she can look back on this and remember. So Misty, my gift to you is a walk back in time before there was any sickness, any worries, any stress or anxiety. When we were kids without a care in the world. And I hope that you look back on all these memories with a smile on your face. And I hope that this video will show you just how much I feel for you, I care for you, and I love you like a sister, and I have all these memories in my heart, and I always will. Come with me. So Misty, this is the house that you grew up in. Here on the corner of Annapolis and Smith. It looks a little bit different than it did when we lived here, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the smells in this home. I remember the sounds. I remember the layout. I remember everything. We met when we were really small. One day you invited me home after school, and I went, and what I came to find out when I went there is that you had 5 sisters, and I always wanted a sister, never had one. I had one brother. So from that day forward, when you brought me home, it's like I almost had 6 sisters that day. Because right after that, we started spending a whole lot of time together. If I wasn't at your house, you were at mine, and I fell in love with all of you. Angie, Shyla, Ronnie, Danielle, and Dominique. I met them all the first day I came home after school with you. I met your mom, Linda, who used to have an upholstery shop in the front of this home. She used to reupholster furniture, couches, chairs, things like that. And I remember spending the night at your house on the weekends, and how we would always pile in your mom's conversion van and head down to the video store that was on the frontage road on Highway 110 and Dodd Road. It's no longer there. They redid that whole property, but we used to head down there, and we used to get I think it was like 5 videos for $5, and always they were horror movies. Always. Probably movies we shouldn't have watched back then when we were that small, but to this day I love horror movies, and I think that's why, is because we always used to get those as a kid. We used to scare the crap out of each other, and to this day I watch them and I think of that time when we grew up. And then this antique mall is still the same as it was when we were kids. It's still an antique store, and beyond that's the Cherokee Sirloin Room, which was there as well. This Amore coffee shop used to be called Anton's Drugs, and when we were growing up, you could get a full-size candy bar for 25 cents. So we would always go in there with our small change, whatever it was, and we'd get some candy. And there's a little pathway here that is on the side of your house, and there's some windows there that you could always see into this building from. And there was always a really creepy guy that rented out this place. It's part of it's AA, but then there's these little apartments, and when we were growing up there was a really creepy guy that used to like run around his house naked, and he'd be like there in plain sight, like just right in front of the window, and you always walk by and be creeped out by him. So this is the church we always used to hang around and play, and then this is the alley right here. This is the back of your house. It's changed a lot. There was no garage here when we grew up, and they've put some stairs and things in. It looks really nice. But I'm gonna walk down this alley that we countless times rode our bikes up and down. This is the way that we got to each other's houses when we were growing up. We'll walk down to my house that I grew up into, but as we're walking, I just want to share some of my memories with you, Misty. I still to this day consider you my sister, as well as your sisters too. You will always be my family. I remember the meticulous way that you folded your clothes. You always were really, really neat and clean. And you always took great pride in having your clothes freshly washed and ironed and put away. And I'll never forget that. I remember you had a room set up for yourself in the basement. It was unfinished. It was just an old basement that was mostly cement and brick and limestone walls, but you made it really, homey and comfy, and you decorated it and made it your own space, and I remember that to this day. We found in your basement one time a little box that had like a skeletonized bird in it, which was really weird. It had like a little bird that was like old and skeletonized, and just there was the bones that were left. I don't know, we tried to figure out what that was all about. I don't think we ever did figure out what that was, but we're coming up to my old house here. We're on Minoman Avenue, and Minoman means wild rice in Ojibwe, so I was always proud that I lived on a street with an Ojibwe name here on the west side. But this house right here, the second one from the corner, 836 Minoman, that's where I grew up. since I was born until I was probably 13 years old. So just one short alley connected our homes, and we'd go back and forth. Like I said, if you weren't at my house, I was at yours. You came camping with us many times. You know, we were always sleeping over each other's homes. And I remember, I don't know if you'll remember this, Misty, but when my brother, I think he turned either 5 or 6, and my mom was giving him a birthday party at the house, at my house, and she wanted you and I to be like the hostesses of the party. Like, she wanted us to help like serve the cake and help with the games and whatever. He had a bunch of little kids over, little boys, and so she kind of put us in charge of it. And I don't know if it was my idea or if it was my mom's. It probably was mine, knowing me, but we dressed up in, now this is like 85, 86, okay? So we dressed up in like identical matching pleated mini skirts and some neon sweatshirts and some funky hair bows and stuff. So I think it's safe to say that's probably the only time you ever wore a skirt in your entire life. And I do have pictures of that, and I'm trying to find them, and I hope that I do, so you can look back and laugh at that as well. Backside of the Cherokee Tavern, and what I remember about this place is, you know, I was saying we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and we were resourceful though. So one day a week, I think it was Tuesdays or maybe Wednesdays, Cherokee Sirloin Room would get a delivery of milk, and they would dispose of their plastic milk cartons out here, and we would come and round them up, and we would take them and stack them on top of each other and use them as dressers to store our clothes in, because, you know, that's what we had. So I remember coming across this alley here looking for the empty plastic milk cartons, crates, they were crates, that we could use to stack them up, and you had a bunch of them stacked up in your room, and that's where you'd put your clothes. I remember that. So many good memories here. What I've learned in my experience in life is that home is truly a state of mind. To this day, and I don't live here anymore. I haven't for a while. I've lived, you know, away from this place for years now, but every time I dream, every single time I dream, and I dream that I'm home, I dream of my house down here. I've never once had a dream where I'm in the current house that I live in. Never. So as long as I've been there, I've never once dreamt of that as home. It's always this place. So I truly, truly think that, you know, where you come from really shapes you as a person, and it makes who you are, and that stays in your heart, it stays with you. So I wanted to give you one last look at your home that you grew up in, and I hope that when you dream of your home, this place comes to mind, and I hope that you remember me as fondly as I remember you. And I wish with everything in me that we had more time. I wish that life could be as simple as it was when we walked these streets together as kids, and when we rode our bikes up and down the alley. I just want to say that I love you, and I wish you peace, I wish you comfort, and I wish you always the memories of home. I love you, Misty. God bless you. And just in case you thought we were going to end this on a sad note,
No way, because F that. So I wanted to show you the house where our little partner in crime, Christina, grew up. She had to confirm with her brother that it was indeed 762 Smith because, as she put it, she smokes way too much pot. So, on that note, Misty, much love from the west side of St. Paul, Minnesota. You're always in our hearts. We love you.
For anyone watching that knows Misty, I'm going to put the links to her GoFundMe page as well as her Caring Bridge in the description box below. She does list her address in case anyone wants to reach out in their own way. You have that information to connect with her. And if you watch this video and you know Misty, maybe just leave a comment below so when she watches this, she can see everybody's thoughts and well wishes. And maybe we'll brighten her day and give her something to smile about. Thanks, everybody.